Hello Aries, welcome back. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. Please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the reading. It's a general reading. Please take what works for you. So now in the first house we have Taurus. Your first house is the house of yourself, your physical body, your vitality, how you are making your way in the world, so your personal independence, your outlook, just your daily influence in the world. It's also how people perceive you, what you're projecting outwards. So your ascendant may very well have something to do with that. But it's what you project outwards and what they perceive. So it's your observable characteristics and your personality and so on. But it's also all your self-oriented interests, everything to do with you. Okay, so with Taurus, I have coming in for you. It's a very nice, very positive card. So this indicates growth and stability. There's potential for abundance, beauty as well. It's a kind of it's a very supportive, very grounding card, but it also brings in the opportunity for growth, and that can be in a variety of areas. So as I said, abundance, or just bringing beauty into your world, or perhaps you are projecting that in some way. Money, banking, accumulating funds. All of these things are indicated with this card. So you could be really focused on that at this time, tackling all those issues in some way. You will be well received at this time. So if you're asking for an increase or a loan or something like that, then you will be well received. So numbers and finance is highly indicated. So possibly that's just your focus and what you're busy working on at this time. Property, real estate, anything like that is also indicated with the Taurus card. With this card also, you may be wanting to either create home comforts for yourself, or you're just enjoying them at the moment. So these are essential things. These are lovely foods, comfortable surroundings, lovely pillows, just really looking after yourself in your home environment or in your environment. It's also about relaxation and the need for that. It could also be that you have a passionate lover at this time as well. Somebody who, that you really are, it's a very sensual relationship, and that you're enjoying all of that and what that entails. This Taurus card can also be bringing in that that you're starting to display your talents in the arts, or that you're now entering into a period where you're going to be using your talents in the arts. And that can be any form of the arts, from acting through to actual artistic things, or to any kind of creative adventure as well. Or, music, or the theatre, or acting, anything like that is indicated. Then in the second house, we have Yod Destiny. So your second house is your house of income, the money that's coming in for you. It's also the house of your self-worth, and the house of your value systems, everything that you value within yourself and within others, and in your possessions, your ownership. The second house also rules land and property, real estate, and so on. So with this, you're going to be having a bit of a challenge in this area. So possibly that is why you're so focused on the figures and things at this time. You really, this card it's a destiny card for sure. So you have to trust that things are going to work out. Basically, that's what it's telling you as well. But you're going to be working on your own truth. You're going to be forging a path for yourself, which requires patience and for you to be adaptable. You need to find your own way and find your own answers. Okay, actually do know what to do, because if you consult your inner GPS, if you go within, then you will know. You're not really going to need support from others, and you're probably not going to get it at this stage either. It's not really going to help you, because you actually already know what to do, and it's necessary for you to find your own way. This is about going inward and pulling out your own answers and finding your own path. So support from others probably not forthcoming, and probably not needed at this time. You may just find that there's no clear path right now. You are kind of pioneering a bit. It's difficult to see what needs to be done or how to do it, but you must keep going. You just need to weather through it all. See what is working for you, what is not. And also deal with any health issues that are coming up. Look after yourself. As I said, that's also to do with the Taurus card. Look after yourself. And if you need to scale back on some things, then that's what you must do in order just to keep yourself on, on an even keel. But as I said, it's a destiny card, so you're just going to have trust that things are working out, and that you just need to keep going at this time. Then in the third house, we have Sun Spirit. The third house is everything to do with your communication. This is verbal, written, body language, any form of expression. So it also rules documents and signing things and contracts. The third house also can be short trips, local trips around and about. So with the Sun Spirit card, beautiful card to be coming in, this is really going to help you with all these other things which you may be doing right now. This is going to help you with, it's going to bring in sort of confidence and vitality. Your inner power, your sort of life force is going to be quite strong in this house. But you're also going to be influential. That's what this card imbues you with. It's an influential sort of charisma. You'll be inspirational to others. You may be required to take leadership in some way as well. You may be required to step in and take leadership unexpectedly, or to just show yourself or step up in some way. It's also about being noticed because you're shining so bright. So you may need to step up and just sort of take your place in the sun at this time. There's a spotlight on you in some way. This card can also bring in happiness, and possibly a second chance, or some kind of resurrection is coming in for you as well. So it's a second go at something. But you will be feeling quite dynamic, and it's a good placement for you, and it will help you to pull this off if need be. It's also, your communication may also be directed at certain people, like family members, like cousins, aunts, uncles, siblings, relatives, or it could even be neighbors as well. So possibly you're inspiring others in some way, or you're just setting the tone, taking a leadership in some way. This card can also bring in, something that you're planning for the summer months, like a summer party or some kind of a summer event which may be coming up for you. And it's also indicative for visiting sunny places, or taking breaks in warm and sunny places right now. Then in the fourth house, we have Aquarius, I know. So the fourth house is your house of home, your physical home, but it's also the atmosphere in the home and the people in your home. It's also your relationship to your family, your roots, your foundation, your ancestry, and your ethnic identity as well. So with Aquarius, I know coming in, I feel that, this is going to bring in some sort of prior knowledge of something. So it's almost like you're seeing the future, or you're seeing glimpses of the future, or you're being able to anticipate things very well. And you kind of have an inner knowing. But I do feel it's also really about the people in your home, that you're going to be, somehow... You're going to be somehow meeting people from a different background, or they're people from a different background in your home, perhaps ethnic identity or sexual orientation, or they're just very different, or they're cutting edge, or they have very different ideas about things. So it's kind of learning about all of that and understanding their points of view, learning from others, and you may just have these people passing through your home at this time, and or being exposed to them in some way. It's also that at this time you may need to just apply a sort of a rational, unemotional approach in your home life. There may be challenges there, so it's about either too much emotion or too little emotion. But normally with the Aquarius card, it's about just looking at things objectively. Technology may be coming into your home life as well. Perhaps you're upgrading something. You could be just mastering new things in some way, whatever that may be. Perhaps it's actually the physical home, something to do with that, or situations within your home, but it's mastering new things. New things are coming at you. But these friendships that you're coming into contact with as well could be very helpful for you, just from a learning point of view, and from opening your mind and seeing, broadening the mind, really. That's what the Aquarius card is about. Then in the fifth house, we have Virgo, I analyze. Your fifth house is your house of children, your children, or children that you're associated with. It's also your house of creativity. So this is all creative things that you're involved with, or just your creative expression. It's also the house of love affairs, and it's the house of recreational activities of all kinds. So this is having fun, any kind of recreational activity, any kind of activity where you're out and about. and it's enjoyment. It's also there's speculative activities in there, which could be gambling or stock market or something like that. But it's activities in all general. It can be a sporting activities as well. So with Virgo, I analyze this could be a Virgo child that you have, or one of your children is a Virgo, and you're focused on them at this time, or it could be a Virgo person coming into your life as a love affair at this time. But Virgo generally is a very analytical sign from a point of view where they sometimes can be overly critical about themselves and others, or just overly critical about a situation. Or it could be that you just need to cast a critical eye over a situation. But just be careful that you don't slip into worry and overthinking things and perfectionism, okay? But just be aware of that either you're not doing that, or perhaps your child is or children are involved in that in some way, or projecting that. Diet and nutrition is important at this time. It's very much a Virgo thing. Also shyness, so you may be experiencing that, or your children are, or you're experiencing that in your relationship. But it's it's also about details and getting organized. So something you want to do in this house is requiring a detailed look. It's removing clutter. It's streamlining. Perhaps you have a creative project you want to get busy with, or it's just really about casting a really careful eye over everything. And it's also about being helpful to others. So helping others in some way where your analytical abilities may be needed. So it's looking at a situation, picking out what's best, what isn't working, and so on. But it's also about being conscientious and reliable, and those qualities you may be needed for to do with your children. So build those qualities up, or provide those for them at this time. Or it could be, as I said, in your relationship. Perhaps you're drawing somebody like this to you now, who is conscientious and reliable, who has got Virgo qualities, or perhaps you're needing to bring those in. Writing. Opening a business, numbers and figures are all indicated in this house as well. So there's some kind of activity going on. Perhaps you're just joining an activity which is, or taking up an activity which requires that from you at this time. Then in the 6th house, we have Pluto transformation. A lot of people are getting this card at the moment. And I think it's really pretty much a sign of the times. I know it's appeared in Aries a few times as well. So it seems to be across the board for quite a lot of people. So 6th house is everything to do with the work, your work project, your workplace, the people you work with, your colleagues, and any work aspect. It's also your daily routines there. It's also about health and diet, and it's also about the house of pets. So with Pluto transformation, this is literally going from, turning things over. So endings and beginnings. So something will end, something will begin, or something old and familiar will fall away, and something new will come in to take its place. So it's that turning around of things. Pluto is the god of the underworld, so things may come up that have been hidden up until now. So this could be things just come to the surface. So it could be your own hidden feelings around all issues in this house. Or it could be secrets coming up, secrets in the workplace, or some kind of hidden health issue which wasn't known before is now appearing. So something falls away to make room for the new. It's bringing in the new, endings and beginnings. It's also clearing the decks for something new. So possibly if it's work related, you may be changing your work. You may be clearing that away and starting something new, or changing your position. It could also be that something from the past, which you thought of as a certain way, turns out to be not what you thought at all. So there may be a disappointment there. Be careful with your finances at this time, with this turmoil that's going on. Things like taxes and inheritances and legacies and things like that are highly indicated at this time. But it's an intense period. There's definitely a turning over going on in there. And it could even be a rebirth of something old that now sort of turns into something new. So something new comes out of an old thing. With regards to the health side of it, it could just be a complete lifestyle change that you're undergoing, or it needs to be done in some way. And this could be driven by a health issue, or just could be you wanting to change things completely. This card can also bring an ego death of some kind. So perhaps you are changing your views with regards to all the 6th house issues. But when it comes to health, it involves the procreation side of life. It's also your sex organs. It's the lower colon. So yeah, birth is also sort of indicated here. So there's all of those issues coming in. Then in the 7th house, we have air element communicating. So the 7th house is your house of relationships. So this is your close personal one-on-one relationships. It can be a personal relationship like a love partnership or a business partnership or a relationship with somebody else that is one-on-one. And yeah, with the air element communicating, it is all about that. So communication is very, very, very important at this time. Be very clear, very precise about what you say. You may be seeking clarification really about things that have gone on. You need to mull things over as well. It could be you doing that, so mulling things over, weighing things up, assessing all the options, or it could be you seeking clarification from your partner. But it could also be that someone, either you or the other person, is being quite cool and detached at this time, so non-committal. So you may be in a relationship, but they may be non-committal on certain issues, or they're just not prepared to divulge too much at this time. So, this is where the seeking clarity comes in and mulling things over, deciding. It could also be that you need to put into words what you want and expect as well. It's also about being spontaneous, about being sharp, quick to pick up on things, using your wit and humor, and also being curious. But it really is about taking up quick action and harnessing whatever may come up in this house. So you could also be receiving news of some kind coming in, or you could be hearing news of some kind. So the news is relevant for you or you and your partner, or news that you're hearing about your situation. But this really is also a card of manifestation. That's really one of the primary aspects of it. It's about having positive thoughts and positive words to create a better situation, to create the situation that you want. And once you're thinking and speaking positively and then you write it positively, then the chances of manifesting that are very high. And that's really important at this time, especially if it's a close personal relationship, which is requiring clarity now. Then in the 8th house, we have earth element stability. 8th house is also a house of endings and beginnings. It's sort of a turning around of things, but it's also the house of finance. It's big finance. So this is accounting and banking, investments, insurances, taxes, legacies, trusts, inheritances, all of those sorts of things. It's also the house of handling other people's money. That may be a profession for you. There's the renewal side of this house. It has endings, beginnings, and then rebirth. Also, there may be control issues coming up in this house because it's also about the deeper merging between you and a committed partnership. So whether that's a love partnership or a business partnership, it's the merging of the two of you into one. So that's the deeper emotional side, also material resources, and also the sexual side. So it's really the navigating of all of that. So with earth element stability coming in, it says exactly that. So you may be tested at this time. You may be tested personally, or you may be assessing what is tried and tested, what's actually going to work. But it could be that you're just becoming more sure and more solid of yourself in this house. It's also about taking responsibility because this is essentially a building card, okay? So you need to be building a strong foundation, one brick at a time or one placement at a time to make it solid, because then that leads to the achievement and the success that you want. It's about getting organized as well. This is a slow-moving action. It's methodical, that will create, the feeling of being sure and solid as well. This card is also about giving trust and receiving trust. So it's about learning to do that, learning to trust another, and also to be trustworthy yourself and to give your trust as well. And also the other person, your partner, receiving your trust, So it's also about sexuality, as I said, that comes into it. On the practical side, there's issues to do with real estate, land, anything to do with that comes in with this. So you may be venturing into purchasing that or involved in that in some way, or it's to do with your profession and you're handling other people's money around that. So this could indicate a success coming, and you're feeling more sure and solid about what you're doing. It's also about spending time in nature, and sort of when you purchase land and you're involved with being on the land, then that is harnessing nature and being close to nature. Perhaps it's even growing your own food or just enjoying aspects of that. This card is also about possibly going into business in some way, which is indicated with a partner. So that is still there. It was there last month as well. It's still here now. So you may be formulating that or thinking about that. But it's also about meeting powerful people at this time. So these are powerful connections, people that can help you to move forward. So powerful contacts, powerful people, helpful people, very influential people in your life at this time. Then in the 9th house, we have part of fortune increase, a lovely card, another destiny card. So this card is when it's destiny, it's basically that things that are destined for you are going to come to you in some way. But it's also to do with karmic triggers, all right? So the 9th house is to do with adventure and exploration of all kinds, all right? So this is wisdom, gaining wisdom, the search for meaning, and that can be applied to basically any part of your chart. So it's that exploration, that adventure, that needing to know, the need for knowledge and for learning and for understanding. And with the 9th house, it's indicated in a variety of ways. It can be through international travel. It can also be interacting with foreigners or foreign people or foreign countries. So this can be online business, import, export, or just interacting with people online, or learning foreign concepts and cultures and so on. It's also about further education and study. So this is university level or adult education. So possibly you're looking at that as well. This is well indicated with this card. It's also about understanding philosophy, religion and belief systems. That may all be coming into for you. The law is also indicated in this house, the higher courts. So if you've got a court issue pending or you're going through some kind of court issue, the part of fortune increase is very, very well indicated for you, and that it brings in a resolution of some kind, and it's going to help you in some way. So, it covers a broad spectrum. It's also about teaching. Perhaps you're a teacher or you are teaching or you're getting teaching in some way. It's also about publishing. Perhaps you're publishing or wanting to publish. Could also be from an education point of view, you're publishing papers and so on. It could also be that this house is also to do with public relations, and all forms of promotional work come in on this. So with this card coming in, it's basically, as I said, karmic triggers. So things are being triggered in some way in this house. Perhaps it's the stirring of your talents and abilities, which perhaps you haven't harnessed before, you just didn't know you had. So something stirs that into action, and out it comes, and now you see that you actually have a talent or an ability in some area, and it's manifesting now, and you may need to learn further to do with that. You may need to study further on that. It's also about taking exams and doing well in those. That's very well indicated at this time with the card. So you're going to be moving ahead in some way. Good fortune, and as I said, learning, teaching, exams is all very highly indicated. But there's also recognition in this house, popularity, success at public promotions. So somehow you're going to be involved in that. There's an easy flow. This card is the pot of gold, and quite often in a chart where the pot of fortune sits in a full birth chart, that it's your hidden pot of gold. It's something that you haven't quite acknowledged yet, but maybe stirred into action through a karmic trigger of some kind. But it's also what you need to harness for yourself. So somewhere in this 9th house, there's something that you need to harness for yourself. Something is coming up for you which you need to actually take action on and move ahead on that. But it's destiny, so something, it will come to you, and then then you'll know it and move forward with it. Then in the 10th house, we have Pisces, I believe. Your 10th house is your house of career, your public public reputation, your public status. It's also your fame. It's also the house of authority figures. So you may be dealing with an authority figure, whether this is a parent in your home, or whether it's somebody you work with or somebody you look up to. So with Pisces, I believe this is quite a tricky card to apply. It has a variety of sides to it, but it could just be that you need faith and trust during a confusing or mysterious time at this right now. And this could be in your career or just with how things are moving for you, where you are, what your status is. There's some sort of things are veiled or not clear at this time, and just maybe very confusing, or there's a bit of mystery or things unknown going down at this time. So things are not known, the path is not clear, and you just need to have faith and trust that, you will get through it. You will be feeling very sensitive at this time. This card is about compassion as well, showing compassion. It could also be that you are tapping into huge imaginative abilities at this time. You're kind of opening to the universe. It's a connection to the divine. So you may be able to channel that in some way into the work that you're doing, the career that you want, or to your whatever projects that you're working on at this time. The arts are highly indicated with this, so this may be a new career path for you. Your dreams are very important now as well. You could also be following up on a great idea from the past, but it won't be around for very long. It will surface briefly and for you to look at, and then it will sink again. So if you see something come up, grab it and go with it. Just be careful that with this card that your boundaries are strong, because with the Pisces card, this is also the card of self-undoing. So there could be something coming in for you in any one of the 10th house areas which is going to challenge your boundaries. So it could be a group of people, it could be other people, or it could be your own self-undoing. So a form of victimization. You may be feeling like a victim, or victim mentality. Or you could just be pulled under by other people's complications. They're kind of draining you. So just be very careful with that. Set your boundaries. And if you need to work on your own and do things on your own for a while, then that's what you need to do. But and just keep to your path ahead, and be clear about everything that's going on, and try to find clarity in all forms. Then in the 11th house, we have Libra I balance. The 11th house is the house of friendships, all kinds of connections, but your strong friendships. It's also the house of networks and contacts of all kinds. So people that you're associating with in a group setting, whether it's an association, society, or a club, or just online groups, or an activity group. But it could also be to do with work, so your networks and your contacts that you have, working those to your advantage. It's also the house of your personal ideals, your personal visions, your dreams, your hopes for the future, and your wishes, your personal wishes, your hobbies and your interests as well. So it's also, this is the house of global consciousness and group consciousness as well. So social things, social reforms and so on, if that's an interest of yours. So with Libra I balance, what it's saying, it's a partnership card. So it's saying that you may be wishing for a partnership of some kind, or it's part of your dream, it's part of your vision for your future. It's highly indicated at this time with this. So linking up with another is well indicated for you. It's going to help you, whether this is a friendship or some other kind of partnership, but friendship is highly indicated. So maybe you just need to really rely on your friends at this time, to really throw yourself into that and link up with your friends and do things together. Or link up in a partnership with others in your groups, your group settings or contact settings or your network settings. But I do feel it's also about you wanting something in the future, a partnership in the future. It's your hopes, your dreams, your visions of the future, and everything that you desire for yourself. I mean, maybe even marriage and engagement is something that you desire for yourself, because the Libra card does cover that. But it's linking up with another in some way. Your relationships will also improve. So friendships and alliances are highly indicated. Also, card is also about bringing beauty in, balance and charm. So if you're in a group setting, or if you're having to deal with a friend, bring your charming self, your full charming self. Do beautiful things together. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Relax. Enjoy the arts as well. Again, that's indicated. But ultimately your relationships you're probably going to be happier at this time. You may also be required to be a negotiator or a mediator in some way. That may be coming in for you, whether that's to do with a friend or with a group, or in a group setting. This card is about fairness and balance. So it's also about you bringing balance into your partnerships, your friendships, or this partnership that you want to enter. So it's about also having your needs met and theirs. So it's a balancing of that. It's also, you may be required to make a decision on something at this time. Something is looming for you and you need to make a decision. It's best to initiate that and take action, because if you don't, the decision may be made for you and then you may not like the outcome. So, but issues are being worked out at this time, and it could very well be in your favor. Perhaps there's something that is a bit rocky and uncertain at this time, but bring in the charm, bring that into you, bring the beauty into your relationships, and harness that as best you can. But linking up with someone or just spending time with your friends and harnessing your relationships is important. Then in the 12th house, we have Mercury retrograde reinvention. So the 12th house is the house of the unconscious. So these are your unconscious drives and motivations and things that are just sitting under the surface that are not necessarily fully conscious for you. It's also the house of reflection and contemplation, solitude, withdrawal, spending time on your own, perhaps even going on a retreat of some kind. It's your spiritual life, your time in meditation, it's mysticism, it's healing. This card this house is also about escapism of all kinds, wanting to escape, whether you physically want to do that, emotionally want to do that, or you actually do take action and you become addicted to something, which is a form of escape for you. This is also the house, there's resolutions and endings in this house. It's also the house of karmic lessons, and meeting twin flames is also in the 12th house, if that is something in for you. With Mercury retrograde reinvention, what this is saying is that this is the very best time for contemplation and reflection, spending time in meditation, going within, and actually reformulating what you want, who you are, all of those things. It's a reformulation time, because this is not a good time to initiate things, any new things or any big purchases or undertaking anything new. It's not a good time for that, because this is normally about a week or so this may occur during this period. So just see how the energies go. I'm pretty sure you'll feel it. The reason why initiating new things is not good at this time is because there are unforeseen changes there, unforeseen events. Misunderstanding is possible, miscommunication is possible, getting off track is possible. Someone from your past may emerge as well. You may meet somebody from your past. That Mercury retrograde can bring in people from the past. But it really is a time for revision, to actually assess and for reformulate what you want to do. Anything with a re in front of it, revision, review. If you're a writer and you want to write or you want to publish something, it's time to go back to the drawing board, really. It's back to the drawing board in all 12th house issues. The 12th house also covers your interactions or your experiences in hospitals, institutions of all kinds, banking, government departments, libraries, universities. There's something that you need to review. Because whatever you initiate, the result won't be what you expect or what you want, and you're going to have to go back and do it again. When it comes to relationship, having this card, however, particularly if it's a twin flame, or any kind of special, really special deep relationship, it's saying to you that at this time you're not privy to everything going on. You don't know all the facts. It's not all known to you. There's more than what you know going on. So just wait it out, because the chances of the relationship picking up and moving forward are very strong. There are other things going on in the background that you are not aware of, and that's why that's saying do not take new action at this time. Just leave it, let it settle, and once the energies have changed, then it's a good chance that the relationship will pick up and move on again. So just wait, let those energies ride out. And let things sort themselves out, because not everything is known at this time, and that is a great influence on how things are unfolding for you. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to seeing you again. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you next time.